Hey guys, this is Harshita, your host for the day, and I hope you're doing great and staying safe. So, I welcome you all to this yet another workshop with Sophia, where she is going to demonstrate letters and blending. So, today's event is brought to you by Print Shop by Designhill, which is a creative print on demand marketplace where you can discover and buy 50 plus unique products, gifts, artworks created by the artists all around the world. So moving ahead, we have with us Sophia, and I would like to thank Sophia for taking out the time from her busy schedule and be here to share awesome tips and tricks. So let me introduce our speaker for today, Sophia. So Sophia is a self-taught lettering artist from a beautiful island of the Dominican Republic. She is a teacher and a medical interpreter. She started lettering in 2017, opened her Instagram account to share her hobby, and since then, she has fallen in love with it. Lettering for her is something that started as a hobby and now it's her great passion. She has provided many offline, online workshops and has created many worksheets to learn brush lettering. Wow. So, Sophia, how it all started and say a quick hi to our all audiences.
Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here. I am very excited, very happy, and for me, it's an honor to be able to teach to so many people. Um, and it's the first time I teach a lettering workshop in English, so for me, that's awesome. Like she mentioned, my name is Sophia, but they call me Sophie. I'm from the Dominican Republic. I've been doing lettering for about, I would say, 3 to 4 years now. It's very fun. It's a very relaxing hobby. I really like it. I enjoy it so much. And it just takes away the stress from my everyday 8 to 5 work. So
Great.
I'm very happy to teach you guys some blending techniques today. So I hope you're ready.
Yes, we are. We absolutely are. So, guys, before we start the session, here's a big announcement for you all. We are giving away the certificates to all the attendees who will stick till the end of the session. So, you just cannot miss on this chance. So, stay tuned till the end. And also, you can take the screenshot of this event, put it on your Instagram stories, tag Designhill DH, Typography Designers Club, and Lettering Corner. All the details will be there in the chat section in a while, and one lucky winner will have a chance to win a print shop gift card worth $50. So, having said that, let's quickly look at what Print Shop by Design Hill is all about. I guess there is some technical glitch. So, all right, guys, this was all about Print Shop, and now we are all set to start the session. So, guys, if you have any questions to ask Sophia, just put it on the questions tab and I'll take it from there. You can also answer to our polls, which are there just beside the questions tab. So, Sophia, let's begin the session and all over to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So basically, guys, what we'll be learning today is some blending techniques to improve basically the way you blend your letters and make it look like if it's watercolor. So today we're going to do just a quick and easy l- lettering project. I hope you have all of the materials that we're going to be needing. So I love to do blending. I'm not sure if you could tell by my Instagram. That's everything I do basically. So basically, the materials that we'll need are we're going to need some water based markers. You can use Tombow markers or you can use the Karin markers. As long as they say water-based markers, you'll be able to do some blending with the markers. We will also need watercolor paper. In this case, I'll be using the Canson Watercolor Paper is 300 GSM, so it's great for blending. Um, your paper won't dry, it won't bulge or anything, so it is perfect for that. And we will be using some brushes. You can use a water brush or you can use a regular lettering brush. In this case, I'll be using the Arteza brush, which is really, really, really tiny. I'll show it to you in a bit. It's really tiny and it makes it so easy to blend. I also use this water brush. Um, I like this one better because I have more control over the water, but feel free to use a water brush if you have one. And just to make it easier, we will use a paper cloth and we will use some water to blend. So give me 1 minute so I can set up um, the the camera so we can begin.
Yes, sure, sure, we can.
Thank you.
So, guys, uh, till the time Sophia is coming, just be prepared for all your questions. Do share your insights. How do you like it? What else you want from us? What else you want we to host, or what speakers you want? So, yeah, you can tell us that. And after end of the session, you can also share your insights once you will check your mail. There'll be a recording of the event plus the e-certificates you'll be giving in within a week. And you can also share your insights with our survey link we have already shared with you in the mail. So I think we're all set now. And Sophia's also
Yes.
here.
Okay, perfect, guys. So I'm sorry about the setup. It doesn't look very good, but we'll fix it now. So basically, we will start doing our letters. So for me to do blending, I always like starting doing a sketch. The way that I do the sketch, I do it with this Tombow marker. It's basically just a gray marker. Normally, I use the N95, but I don't have it. I ran out of it, so I'm using this one. Um, but basically, I first do a sketch, unless you want to do it straight on the paper with a watercolor brush. But to make it easier, I always try using a gray marker first to do the lettering. But before we begin, I just want to say that there are different ways to do blending. It's not only a water brush that you can use. You can use just two markers. You can use a blender like this one. It's just a clear marker that you use to blend the colors together. So we'll try each and one of them. So the first one we will do is using two colors without any brushes, without water, and without a blender. So if you're not able to see, just let me know so I can fix my camera.
It's all
So
clear, Sophia. It's all clear.
okay, excellent, excellent. So basically, the way we're gonna do it is that we're gonna write out a word. So for me to practice, I always like the word hello. It's easy, it's short and easy to remember. So what I will use is that I will use these two light, basically color markers. So this one is a pink one and an orange one. If you want, in case you want to use the same number, I'm using 743 and 933. So basically, what I will do is that I will write the word hello, for example, using the lightest color, which is the orange one. Okay, so I will write the word hello, and then I will take the other color, which is the pink one, and I will just color wherever I want it to look pink. For example, I want it to look pink right here, then I want it to look pink up here, and then down here again, then maybe right here in the middle, and then here. So after I do that, what I do is that I take my lightest color again and I just blend it with the pink one. And like that, I have two different colors on my lettering. So that's one way for you to do blending in case you don't feel comfortable or in case you don't have basically a water brush or watercolor paper. This is one way if you don't feel comfortable handling the water yet on your paper. So as you can see, you can have two colors like this. And you can blend as many colors as you want. You don't have to stick to like two colors. You can do a rainbow if you want. So it's up to you. So basically, this way we have two colors, pink and orange. And I don't know if you can see the difference. I don't know if you can see the different colors here, but you can see that here is like a little bit darker, and here's like the lightest part.
Yes, we can see it very clearly.
Okay, excellent, perfect. So let's finish this one. So basically, that's one way to do blending. Another way is to use a blender. Um, I don't use a blender very much because I like that watercolor effect. So I really, really like to use water when it comes to blending. But that is also a really good technique if you want to go ahead and use it. So for example, the I'm going to use now the color blue, and I'm going to write the letter H. Okay, and then I'm going to take a purple color and I'm going to place it down here, up here, and then I'm going to place it here. You can place it wherever you want. It's really up to you. There's really no like rule. And that's the fun thing about lettering. There are no rules. You can basically be creative and do basically whatever you want as long as you feel good about it. So after I place the colors where I want them to be, I take the blender, and this is just a clear marker basically. This is just a white marker. It's based water based. You can see the number here is N00. So basically I just blend in blend them together, and can you see like where it blends? You can see where the blue blends with the purple one, and this is basically another way where you can have blending. I really like this effect. It's just that I prefer water, but you can use this style if you want to. So let me just finish here. Okay, so you basically have to drag the colors together until they meet and they blend together. So that's another way, basically a second way to do blending on your lettering. If you have any questions, just write them down on the chat and I can answer them in the meantime.
Yes, there's a question from John, but I think you have already answered it. And it's, can I know the brand of tools you are using and including the type of paper?
Yes, of course. Let me just repeat it one more time. So basically, I'm using right now, you can use any marker that is water based, but right now I'm using the Tombow markers. I'm using watercolor paper, which is the Canson watercolor paper, just in case you want to see which one it is. Here is the cover of the paper. It's the Canson XL and it's 300 GSM. I like this one because since it's watercolor paper, you can play a lot more with water without damaging your paper or bulging your paper.
Perfect. So I guess, John, your question is answered now. So guys, if you have any more questions, don't forget to ask your questions, and Sophia is all here to help us all around.
Perfect. I'm also using for our next technique, I'm also using these watercolor brushes. This one is a water brush, so basically you open it up here and then you put the water in and the water just comes out automatically. But you have to have a lot of control with that kind of brush. You need to make sure it doesn't drip any water from up here because it has happened to me where I end up messing up my work because of that. So but this is a great idea because that way you don't need to have like a glass of water next to you. You just need like a piece of paper paper towel. So another one is this one. It's just a regular watercolor brush. It's a round brush. I like this one because it's like a miniature brush and it's very, very tiny. So it's very easy to control when doing the blending. It's really great for beginners because it's really small, so you don't like get out of the lines while doing the blending.
Perfect.
Excellent. So this is the second way you can do blending. Another way you can do blending, there are many, many ways, guys. Can't even imagine. So another way you can do this is by doing it with a palette. In my case, I'm gonna use. You could use anything as a palette. You can use a plate, a ceramic plate, a ceramic palette, or a watercolor palette. In this case, I'm gonna teach you this using a regular plate. So I have like a. I'm gonna use the other side because I already messed up this one. So you can use a plate. So basically, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to place a pink color right here, like this. I'm gonna fill in the whole plate because I want to have enough. So I take the pink color and I want to blend that pink with, let's say, yellow. So I'm going to take a yellow marker and what I'm going to do is that I'm going to pick up the pink color using my yellow marker. So I'm going to go like this and then I'm going to do the letter in here. So now you can see that I have two colors together. I have pink and then I also have yellow. So it looks kind of like orange because they blended together. So I can do it the opposite way. I can put yellow on the plate and then I can pick up the yellow with the pink one. So I'm going to try one more time. And like I said, I really like, give me one second. I really like lettering the word hello. It's just easy to remember and the shortest word you can use to like teach something.
And we're already getting so many amazing and wows in our chat section.
Awesome. I'm really happy that you guys liked it. Thank you so much, guys. So I really hope I can see your work also. So if you are following with us, make sure you show us your work on Instagram so we can take a look at it. So as you can see, I have two colors together. I can do the same thing and I can use another. Let's try blue. Let's try picking up the pink one with this blue color. So I'm supposed to get purple. So let's see. So it's like a purple blue, as you can see. So there you go. So we have three ways already. We can do blending. And there you go. You have blue and purple.
Awesome. I personally love the third one right now, and let's see what's more in your package.
Excellent. So that's the third way to do blending. So we have number one, which is only using the two markers, which is the first one we did. We did this one, which is using a blender. I'm using the Tombow blender, but Karin markers also have a blender, which is really, really good because has a lot of water. I just don't have them around right now. But that's another option if you like them. Then we have the third way, which is basically using a palette and picking up the color with another color, like we did here. So the fourth way, which is my favorite one, that's like the one that I use the most, is a little bit more challenging. You need more time. You need more patience because sometimes your paper is going to get messed up. Like it happens to me all the time. But basically, we're going to use a gray marker. In this case, is the N75 by Tombow. It's a really light color, so it works as a sketch. So basically, we're going to letter the word hello again. Let me know if you have another short word that we can letter. But I
Yes,
really like hello.
definitely. You can share your words in the chat section, and we can choose one lucky winner from it, and we'll do that.
Oh, great. That's a great idea. So let's see. I'm going to letter. Okay, let me see. Let's see what someone says. Okay, hello. I'm going to letter hello. I just like the word hello, guys. So I don't know if you can see, but it's a really, really light gray color. So I'm going to finish the word hello here. Okay, so I have my word. So this is the fourth way. So we're on number four right now. So I have the word hello. This gray color is a little bit darker than the one that I normally use. If you're going to use this, I recommend number N95, which is really, 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 really light, and you almost can't tell that it's there. So I'm going to use pink and blue again, so we can get like a purple color. Don't be afraid to use darker colors and lighter colors because there is a way that you can blend them without getting black on your lettering. For example, I'm going to try blending two colors that are like really, really, really opposites. Let me see. So red, I would say red and purple. Maybe that will give you like a brownish color, maybe. So we'll try that later. But let's blend this. So we letter our word, we sketch our word, hello. Now we decide which colors we want to use. In this case, I'm going to use pink and blue. So I will get three colors. I will get like a purple color also. So I start filling in where I want the pink to go. For example, I want some pink right here. So I want some pink right here. And then I also want some pink right here. But now I'm going to take my purple, sorry, my blue color, and I'm going to place it right here. And I also want some right here. So what I like to do for this, because sometimes the colors get very dry and it gets a little bit more difficult to blend, I like to do it letter by letter. I know some people that would like paint the whole word and then blend it, but depends on the type of paper that you're using. You can do a letter by letter, or you can do basically put color the whole word and then just blend it. So after we paint the pink and the blue, we're going to take our water brush or our watercolor brush, and then what we're going to do is that we're going to drag the lightest color to the darkest color. This way we can see where the two colors blend together. So there you go. So I'm dragging the pink one towards the blue one, and then somewhere in the middle is going to be purple. Then I start dragging the blue one a little bit more. Also, sometimes with watercolor, you might put more water than you wanted to on your paper. So this is where we use our paper cloth and we dry our brush, and then we just pick up the extra water with the brush. This way you still have control of your lettering. So we're going to drag the lightest color towards the darkest color. I don't know if you could see, it looks kind of purple now.
Yes, of course, we can see it very clearly.
Excellent. Perfect. So there you go, guys. So we have the first word. I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm going to do the same thing right here until we letter the complete word. This is my favorite way to do blending because it gives it like a more watercolor effect. And watercolor lettering with a brush is a little bit difficult. You need to have um, a lot of technique, a lot of practice. So this is a great way to fake it. Basically, it looks like if basically you use a brush marker.
Yes.
And it looks like you use watercolor paints when you only use your markers. That's what I like about this technique. So we letter the word age. I'm going to drag this pink one a little bit. Okay, so now on that pink one, I want to use now an orange one. So basically, I just keep going. I just keep going letter by letter the way I want them to look. So I'm going to use orange, and then I'm going to add purple right here. And then I'm going to add some red. Like I said, don't be afraid to blend colors, because basically the tip or the technique is to drag the lightest color to the darkest color. That way you don't get a really, really brown or black color. So we're going to drag the orange one to the purple. until they blend together. So there you go. I don't know if you could tell, but purple and orange are not really like my favorite colors together. But if you drag the lightest color to the darkest color, it won't go darker, it won't go brown, and it won't go black. And yes, there are other brands that you can use other than Tombow. You can use, well, the ones that I'm familiar with, you can use Crayola. Crayola are water-based markers. You can also use a brand called Kuretake. That's also a really good. Oh, I'm gonna actually show you the way they look when you blend. They're basically like Tombows with less colors, but they're almost like Tombows. You have Karin markers. Those are my favorite ones. They're very juicy. They're basically made for blending, which I love. And there are many, many, many other brands out there.
Yes, Sophie, Joe is again asking, is it Crayola Super Tips?
Yes, you could use the Crayola Super Tips and you can also use the Crayola Broad Tip. Either one. Both of them are water-based markers.
Okay, so I hope your question is answered, Joe.
Yeah. The only thing with Crayola is that I suggest that you don't wait so much. If you're going to use this water technique, I suggest not to wait so much because the colors dry quicker and it will be a little bit harder to blend. For example, this red one gave me a little bit of a hard time because it got a little dry. But with Crayola, they tend to dry really, really quick. So you just have to make sure that you do a letter by letter and you don't letter the whole word.
Yes. And Sophie, what about Karin brush marker?
Oh yes, those are the best for blending, guys. Those are I don't have them right now with me, but I'm going to show you something really quick. Let me see if I have some Karen markers here. I don't. But those are my favorite markers um, to blend with. They have so much ink. They're very juicy. Like you don't even need to use a water brush to blend with Karen markers. For example, this was done um, with the Karen markers. I don't have them right now, but they're extremely juicy and they're perfect for blending. It's like if they were made for blending. And also remember, you can use actual watercolor paint. For example, I use some liquid watercolor paint. Those are like the Ecoline liquid paints. They're great for lettering and for blending, so you can use that also. And you can use a regular watercolor palette. You don't have to use exactly um, a marker.
So, Sophie, there is a question from Carmel. It's, can watercolor be used instead of brush pens in the course
Yes,
method?
yes, you can use watercolor instead of a brush pen. So, for example, I have this palette of watercolors. So you can use a regular watercolor palette instead of a brush pen. If you don't have a brush pen, basically what I will do is that I will sketch the word and then just color it as I go. So let's say I take this pink one, pink one right here.
So, rather than taking the colored brush pens, can we use brush pen for light gray color also?
For can we use like watercolor paint?
Yes, for light gray color.
You can, but you will have to let it dry so you can use it as a sketch. So I would suggest if you like you're asking like to do the sketch first, right?
Yes.
I would suggest if you don't have a gray pen or like a gray marker, you can actually use a pencil. to do your sketch. Just sketch it out with a pencil and then like draw over it, and then you can lightly erase it, or just do the sketch in a really, really, really light color. So then you can erase it, or it won't be noticeable. So in here you can see the first four words of the letter I did them with a marker, and the last one I did it using watercolor paint. So you don't necessarily need to use the markers. If you have watercolor, you can use watercolor. If you have your brush pens, you can use your brush pens. If you have liquid watercolor, you can use them. If you have metallic watercolor, which is really trendy right now, you can use them. And I said I was going to show you something before I forget. So here are here's another option. These markers are really cool. They are water-based. The brand is Kuretake, and they are really, really, really good for blending. So if you want to know if a marker is a water-based marker, like for example, some markers are in another language, like this one. It doesn't have any word like in English or Spanish or anything. So what you do, if it doesn't say water-based and you want to know that it is water-based, you take a watercolor paper, you paint on it, and then you take your water brush, you take some water, and basically you just try to blend it. You see how the paint just it basically just I just lifted the paint with the water.
Yes, and it was so satisfying to watch it, the way it blended.
It's really, really cool. And if you do this with the Karin markers, it will be even better. But that's how you know if a marker is water based. Um, Let me see if I have another type of marker so I can show you the difference. But oh, I wanted to show you with the Crayola Super Tip. So I have a Crayola Super Tip right here. I just have to paint. Like I said, don't let it get dry, because if you let it get dry, it will be difficult to blend. So there you go. You can blend with water using Crayola Super Tips. So as long as you can like lift the paper and it doesn't give you like a hard line to blend, you can use the marker for blending. So that's what I love about water-based markers. They're very nice to blend,
Great, guys. So,
and these
I'm
are
so sorry
awesome
to
for
cut.
lettering.
Great.
Yes, I'm
Guys,
sorry.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you. It's just I was just asking my attendees if they're having an amazing time with this session. So, guys, if you allow me, Sophia, can we have a break of just a 1 minute break so that our attendees can also get some water and then come back with a boom?
Okay, perfect. That sounds great.
Great, guys.
Great, great, great. I'm going to also read some of the questions that I see here. I didn't realize there were some questions, so I can answer them when we come back.
Yes, exactly. We'll take up the questions and then we'll just continue with the session.
Okay, excellent. Perfect.
Great. So guys,
Thank you,
I
guys.
hope you are having amazing session and cause I'm personally loving it and I just forgot to take the mid roll in between also. So yeah, this event is brought to you by Print Shop by Designhill for organizing this event. I'm so thankful for it and I hope you are taking the screenshot of this event and posting it on Instagram stories. Just try these designs also and tag at the rate lettering corner others our speakers account. And on that note, let's keep the interesting session going on and take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Excellent. See you guys in a few.
I've always been creative and always been an artist. As a young girl, I used to paint rocks and I used to sell them for a quarter on the street. And I just fell in love with it. It just grew into a passion of mine. I started looking on the web and I came across Designhill, and they had a design contest to design a logo, and I entered it and I won. And I was like, oh, this is really great. I can pick and choose what type of logos or design projects I want to work on. And it allows me to be creative, keep my hands, with my tools and working. So it's kind of nice. It's really easy to use. You can scroll through the projects and there's sections that you could go by. It's really easy. There's a few clients who have come back to use the one-on-one projects. There's one client in particular, she owns a vintage shop, and I designed her logo, and she came back. She needed a design for a flyer, and she really liked the illustrations that I did for her, so she came back a couple of times with projects. I would recommend it, especially if you're a designer that's starting out and you want to learn from other designers, seasoned designers. It's a place to keep in the game and keep using your tools. It makes me feel great, and it kind of confirms that I should be doing this. And I love to see logos that I've designed out and proud of that. And I think that the clients are so happy that their logo represents what they do and makes them look good. It's a collaboration. It's good for me, and it's definitely good for them.
So, all right, guys, we are back again with our awesome, awesome guest, Sophia. And now we'll just take up a few questions from the questions tab. And first one is Sophia, I think you are on mute. Can you just unmute yourself?
Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes, yes. Sorry.
perfect. Perfect.
Okay.
So there's a
So,
question from Joe, and it's
mhm.
when you blend the colors using the brush pens, like you just did in the third one. So does the color you applied on the pen remove eventually?
Yes, yes, it will. So, for example, let me see. I'm going to try this one more time. So we can see here the plate that we used earlier. So we're gonna pick up the color. We're gonna pick up the pink, and let's try it down here. So eventually the color, the orange, will go back to its original color. So you don't have to worry about staining the tip of your marker. It will eventually go away. The same way with the blender. You see that the blender, this was it was basically a little bit newer. I didn't use it before, but now you see that the tip is blue. Eventually that will go away. And if you wanted to just want it to go away faster, just take a paper towel and just remove it like this. And there you go. There's no color on your blender, and you can use it for another color. The same way with the marker. You just um, basically clean it off a little bit, and then you're free to use it. But eventually it will go away. Hope
Great.
that answered the question.
Yes. So there's next question from April, and it's is it okay to use water-based acrylic paint?
Yes, it is okay to use them. It will blend the same way. You can blend using water, or you could blend using another acrylic marker. In my case, for example, I have some markers. Let me see. Well, this is not my regular setup, so I can't really like. I don't really use acrylic base markers, but I have used metallic base markers, and they tend to blend really really easy. So I'm guessing you can use it.
Great. So I hope that answers your question, April, and we are all set to start over this, continue the session once again.
Perfect. And there was one other question. Let me see. Can you use watercolor pencil for blending? Yes, you can. Definitely. Yes. It looks really cool. And it will turn out almost the same way. But yes, you can use watercolor pencil to blend. That's a really good question. And yeah, we can continue.
Great.
Awesome, guys. So basically, we learned four ways of blending. So the first one was using just the two markers. The second one was used picking up the color from the palette. Well, that was a sorry. The first one was using the two markers. The second one was using the blender. Number three was picking up the color from the palette. And then number four was using water and a brush pen and a watercolor brush. So basically, those are the four ways you can do it. Remember that if you don't want to get like a really, really, for example, if you're blending purple with orange, what I will do is that I will drag the lightest color to the darkest color. That way I have like a better smooth, it's like a smoother blending between those two colors. So basically, remember, just drag the lightest color towards the darker color so you can finish the blending. So finally, if what we're going to do is that we're just going to letter something together. I hope you can follow along with me. And basically, you can show us your work. But we're going to letter the word June or hello June. Another thing that I wanted to mention also before I continue is that um, I really like to add details to my lettering. Like, for example, after you finish blending, if you have like a white gel pen or if you have metallic paint, you can do, you can make it look like a galaxy, you can do shadows, you can um, make like some cool designs over it. You can do whatever you want. Just after you do the blending, if you want to make it look like a little bit more fun, a little bit more um, creative, I guess, you can do so using some white gel pens. So I have this one, for example, and mine dry really quick, so you might not even be able to see it. But you can take, like, for example, this color. I don't know if you could see it. I just did like a small dot in there. And you can do like small dots or you can do like little stars, little hearts, so you can decorate your lettering. I really like that. So that's just something extra other than the blending. So I'm gonna take a new piece of paper and I'm going to letter the word or the phrase hello June using this technique right here. Technique number 4.
Perfect. So, guys, as this event was only for 1 hour, but seeing all the engagement and loving the part, we are just increasing the time and we'll just continue with the Hello June part and then we'll just quickly wrap it up.
Okay, excellent, perfect. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm going to sketch my word. I'm going to write hello June. So first, I'm going to write June first. Remember, lettering doesn't have to be like perfect. You can change your style if you want. So, for example, I'm just writing the word June a little bit different here. Okay, so we have the word June. And then here we're going to write hello. And if you want to like to have like a list of materials that you can use, I also have like a link on my Instagram of things you can find on Amazon. in case you're interested of all of the watercolor and lettering materials that I recommend, so you can take a look at that. So I wrote the word hello June, and I'm going to use this Kuretake brush pen because I really, really liked it. So I'm going to end up using it. And I'm going to grab a green one. So I'm going to use green and blue. So the first thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to fill in, start filling in the word. So I want some blue right here, and then I want some green right here and right here. And let me know if you cannot see or if it doesn't look very clear.
Do let us know in the chat section, guys. But for me, it's all clear and it's also perfect.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So we're going to take some water and we're basically just going to drag. Remember, drag the lightest color towards the darker color and then just blend them together like this. So remember, drag the lightest color towards the darker color.
Until the time we are doing this, Sophia, we have one more question.
Hmm.
That how do you decide what colors you go together?
I just go with the flow, guys. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest. I don't have like I don't follow a rule when it comes to mixing colors. I before, like at the beginning, I used to be scared of mixing different colors together, but after I learned this technique, which is like dragging the lightest color towards the darkest color, I don't really follow any rule. I know there are some colors that like go together, some colors don't go together, like primary and secondary colors. But one of the things that I like about lettering is that you can experiment and basically just make it fun. So I don't really follow any, I don't follow any color rule or anything like that. So
And on that
basically,
note, and
mhm.
on that note, I have a second question for you also that is same as the color effect. And it's, does the color affect our imagination?
um, that's a really good question. Does it affect our imagination?
Yes.
Um, well, maybe it does. I'm not sure I understand the question. I'm sorry. Maybe it does. Um, I guess it will give you a little bit more creativity. It will basically make you a little bit not more creative, but it will basically burst your creativity. Like I said, don't be afraid to blend colors together. Just have a lot of patience.
And people are agreeing with you.
Just have a lot of patience. And before, when I started, I used to be so impatient. I used to get really desperate. I used to not wait until things would dry in order to continue. So that will make it even harder for me. So just remember, be patient, just enjoy the process, and just have fun with it. If you want to mix brown with red, go ahead and mix brown with red. If you want to mix purple with black, go ahead and do it. Trust me, it is possible. It's possible. So I'm really happy that you guys are enjoying this.
So, guys, if you're enjoying this
Ay,
and you are going to give it a try again, so just try it out and tag at the rate lettering corners, and we'll just look at it. How creative are you?
yes, please. I would love to see your work. So I'm going to put a little bit of yellow here. Like my favorite colors to blend are rainbow colors. I like to use them all of them. I like to use all of them together. So remember, don't be afraid to explore, play around with colors until you feel comfortable. I think that's one of the most important parts also when you're doing watercolor. You just have to play around with the colors until you're comfortable with them. And if you really, really want to have like a guide, um, you can get a color wheel and just guide yourself using a color wheel.
So on that note, we have a question from Joe, and it's,
Hmm.
as a beginner, is it wise to sketch what I want to write and then choose what colors to use for blending?
Yes, actually, as a beginner, that's the best thing you can do. And even if you have experience, if you want to sketch it first, you can go ahead and sketch it first and then choose the colors that you want to use. But I always recommend to do a sketch. You never know, you might change your mind in the middle of the session. So make sure you sketch it first and then you go ahead and put the colors together.
Great.
So I'm going to use. So the most important part here is just to take your time, go slowly, don't rush, and just paint. I work from home, so I just spend a lot of time sitting down on my desk, and whenever I have some free time, I just letter and basically just take your time. If you have like some time off, you can just do it as a hobby or in the afternoon or something when you're finished working. But don't rush it because I had that experience before. I used to be very impatient and then at the end of the day I will end up really frustrated. So yeah, that's my advice.
And
So I'm
that's a
almost
great
done.
advice.
I'm almost done with the word hello. So normally I don't blend these colors, but I did want you to see that you can blend different colors. It doesn't have to be all pink and purple and blue and yellow and orange. You know, you can blend dark colors together. It doesn't have to be always the right colors. So, for example, there you go. I wish I had the Karin markers here so I can show you, but I don't have them here. And I apologize. This O looks like an A, but it says hello. Okay. So there you go. Let's say you want to blend, you want to write the word June, and you only want to use yellow and green. Or yellow and blue. Sorry, you want to use yellow and blue. If you use yellow and blue will give you green. So you will have three colors together instead of two. That's another way that you can look at it when choosing colors. For example, if you have purple and pink, sorry, pink and blue, that will give you purple. So instead of pink and blue, you will have pink, blue, and purple when you blend them together. So you can also keep that in mind when you're blending colors. I just do it as I go, honestly. So we're gonna do the word June now, and we're almost finished, I promise. So, like I said, I really like using the small brush because it's really tiny, so you have control. over the amount of water that you're using. And if you're ever in the situation where you have too much water on your brush or on your letters, just take a paper towel, dry your brush, sorry, and then just pick up the extra water with your brush or with a little piece of paper towel. So there we go. Now we're going to put some yellow here and some green right here. Any more questions? Let me know.
Yes, there is a question, and it's from Irip. It's,
Hmm.
do we have to choose a color or form of writing that we don't like?
I'm sorry, do we have to
Do we
choose a
have
color of, not really. You can choose whatever color you like. I actually recommend just using the color that you like. There's no really like a rule that you have to follow or anything. Just choose the colors that you like the most. For example, if you look at my markers, you will see that most of the markers that I'm running out of are pink, blue, yellow, purple, because those are the ones that I use the most. If you look at my mark case of markers, you will see that the red is full, the brown is full. Those are the colors that I tend to use less. But just use the colors that you like. There's no really like a rule for that.
great? And it's great to know that people are simultaneously working and they're also creating their designs.
Awesome. Great, great, great. Don't forget to tag me, guys, so I can actually see them and I can give you my opinion. So I'm going to continue here with the, I'm almost finished, guys. Just remember I'm trying to do it a little bit faster, but um, if you are going to be working on this later, you can actually take your time and do it slowly without any rush.
So there's one more question from Joe,
Hmm.
Sophia, and it's in your screen also. Aside from watercolor paper, do you have any recommendations, especially if we want to use the blending of colors with a genre, like creative genre or bullet genre?
Yes, of course. I do have a recommendation. When it comes to blending, when I started lettering, I started with bullet journal and I started experimenting the different types of bullet journal. And it was not until recently that I actually found some really great journals that have like really resistant paper. They even have a really, really good watercolor paper journal, and the brand is Archer and Olive. And I'm actually going to show you when I'm finished lettering this word an example because I actually have a planner from them that I use for um it's just like a normal personal planner, and I tried using watercolor on it and it works. It works. It didn't bulge the paper, it didn't break the paper. It just looks amazing. So that's the one that I recommend the most, honestly. Um, I don't have like experience with a lot of bullet journal, but I have used that one before and it is awesome.
Great. And there is one more question from John, and it's also there on your screen. Is there a basis that when you are good at handwriting, you are also good at doing calligraphy?
No, that's not true. My handwriting is horrible. My handwriting is horrible, guys. Um, I would show you if I didn't have this in front of me, but no, in order for you to do beautiful lettering, you don't need to have a beautiful handwriting. because lettering is more like the art of drawing pretty letters. It's not the art of writing correctly. That's like calligraphy. Um, Here in my country, when you're in school, they tend to focus a lot on in calligraphy. So when you're in school, they give you an actual calligraphy workbook that you have to follow every single day in order to teach you how to write pretty. That's different. I was never good at that. My handwriting has never been pretty. So if your handwriting is not that pretty, don't worry. You can still have very beautiful lettering.
Great.
So we're almost done here. Okay, so as you can see here, I don't know if you were able to see what happened, but I had some yellow here. And then instead of dragging the lightest color to the darkest color, I did it the opposite and I dragged the darkest color to the lightest color so it turned green instead of yellow. And yeah, sometimes it's just really hot in here in this country. I see someone that wrote that your country is amazing. Um, yeah, it is amazing. It's just a really hot weather right now. Let's see. We're almost done. Okay, so I'm going to finish it with a yellow color down here. And I'm gonna do it right this time. I'm going to drag the yellow color towards the blue color. And there you go. You know something, I also recommend mixed media paper. Personally, I don't use it so much because I like really thick paper. That way I can use a lot of water. But if you're just blending with a blender or you're just using your markers to blend or you're using the third technique, which is picking it up from the palette, you can use mixed media paper. They have one by Canson, so you can use that one also. So there we go. We finished the word Hello June. We use three colors, blue, green, and yellow. And we don't have any brown, we don't have any black, and you can see how the colors just blend together.
It's just amazing. It's looking so pretty, so pretty.
Thank you so much. So guys, do you have any questions, any comments, anything else that you want me to repeat, anything else you want me to answer?
I guess there are no questions, but there was a huge engagement in the chat section, and people loved your work, loved your workshop. And yes, guys, on that note, this brings us to the end of this wonderful session with Sophia. And this was indeed a value packed session. And although there is a lot more that we could have learned, but unfortunately, we are limited by time here. And I hope you guys love the session because I personally did. So once
Perfect.
again,
Thank you.
once again, I would like to thank Sophia for being the part of this event.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was my pleasure. I really hope that you guys learned something. I hope that you guys liked it. And if you want to show us your work, make sure you tag us on Instagram so we can see it or mention us in your stories. And I really hope that you really like blending as much as I do because I really like it. Thank you guys.
I have also started loving blending from now.
Thank you.
Great. So, guys, this is not where it ends. We have a lot more events lined up for you all. The upcoming event is on 28th, so don't forget to register for it. So, there is a link in the chat section. You can just check it out and do register. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more information, the recorded videos, and everything. And also, we have recently launched some cool design challenges which are worth $500 per month. $5,000, sorry. And yes, any designer, non designer can be a part of it. and create some awesome designs using our DIY design tool called Designhill Studio. So all the details, all the links will be there in the chat section in a while. And on that note, I would like to say goodbye to everyone who has joined us here today. Take care, guys. Stay safe.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye, guys. Stay safe. Have a nice day.